Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our Business and Management webinar. My name is Suzanne Golden, and I'm the Flexible Programme Development Officer in the Centre for Adult Learning and Professional Development. This is the fourth in a series of 5 webinars that the Centre is delivering throughout the month of July. So this webinar is being recorded. And you will receive an email with a link to the recording sometime over the next day or so. So let's go through the running order of the webinar this afternoon. So we will start by introducing our panelists. Then we'll have an overview of the business and management courses that are on offer in a flexible delivery format. We'll touch on the whole area of micro-credentials. We'll also talk about the recognition of prior learning, and then all of that will be followed by a question and answer session with our panel members. So without further ado, I'm delighted to introduce our panel members to you. We have Miles Kingston, who is a lecturer in the discipline of marketing at the School of Business and Economics here in the university. And we also have Eamon Fitzgerald, who is a current student on our diploma in management. And we'll be delighted to have a discussion with them towards the end of this presentation. And as I say, my name's Suzanne Golden, and I'll be moderating the session at the end. So let's start by taking a look at the range of business courses that are currently on offer. And you can see that I've grouped them in relation to the National Framework of Qualifications level that applies. So we have one course at level 6, that's our Diploma in Foundation Studies in Business, Art and Law. Then at level 7, we have a Diploma in Management and a Diploma in Marketing. At level 8, we have a Specialist Diploma in Corporate Environmental Planning, a Higher Diploma in Business Studies, our Bachelor of Commerce online programme, and we have a Diploma in Critical Business Skills. At level 9, we have a postgraduate certificate in Artificial Intelligence for Professionals, and we have a Master's in Sustainability Leadership. And we also have a range of micro-credentials with various NFQ levels. So I suppose just to give you a visual, here's a diagram that represents the National Framework of Qualifications. And you can see that a range of our courses are sitting there at the higher levels of the framework. So let's have a closer look now at some of the courses that are currently accepting applications for the 24-25 academic year. The Diploma in Foundation Studies in Business, Arts and Law is a programme that's delivered jointly with the Atlantic Technical University. It runs on a Tuesday and Thursday evening and approximately one Saturday per month from September through to May. This programme is suitable for mature learners who are interested in moving onwards to a full-time or a part-time degree in the University of Galway or in ATU in areas such as business, law and humanities. And this programme has a really, I suppose, good value for money in that it's €380 for people who are employed and €60 for people who are unemployed. And it covers a range of academic modules in the area of business, including accountancy, business skills, economics and maths for business, along with a range of core modules focusing on academic writing, academic study skills, academic technology, and also there's an element of career and college guidance incorporated into that programme. So then moving on, we have a number of courses that are linked to our Bachelor of Commerce programme that are currently open for applications. So I just want to look at the relationship there between those courses. All of these courses are online only, and they have an intake once every 2 years for each course with alternate years of entry. So the courses that are currently open at the moment for entry into the academic year 24-25 include the Diploma in Management, the Diploma in Critical Business Skills, and a range of the micro-credentials. So just to give you a sense of how those courses are all connected together, The diploma in marketing and the diploma in management hang off, I suppose, in a way, the Bachelor of Commerce online program, as well as the critical business skills program and the higher diploma in business studies. So really, all those programs are interconnected, and taking one of those programs, if you do decide to progress onwards, you will earn exemptions and credit for the courses that you have already done. So and again, those 3 programs that are open at the moment, the diploma in marketing, the diploma in critical business skills, and a range of our micro-credentials. So just, I suppose, drilling down into the programs that are currently open. Our diploma in marketing is a 2-year online course that's aimed at learners who are seeking a marketing qualification to develop their careers. Students will be equipped with key concepts and skills that are vital to embark on a career in marketing. This course provides a really solid foundation in the principles and practice of marketing. It has 6 modules in total, 3 per academic year. So it's a really, I suppose, well spaced out program, very manageable for learners who may have additional responsibilities. Then our diploma in critical business skills is a 1-year fully online course that aims to enable those with a non-business background to fulfill their potential and progress to middle management roles. Graduates will develop really valuable leadership, management and negotiation skills through a critical thinking lens. This course has a total of 6 modules, and learners will engage with 3 modules per semester in each year of the across the full year of the program. Moving on then, our postgraduate certificate in artificial intelligence for professionals is a program that's suitable for learners who would benefit professionally from gaining a high-level understanding of the field of artificial intelligence. This is a 9-month part-time program that's delivered entirely online, and there are significant fee subsidies for eligible candidates. Moving on then, our Masters in Sustainability Leadership is a 2-year part-time blended learning programme that allows for industry skill needs to be met in a very flexible manner. Students on this course will be equipped to address the challenges, risks and opportunities of environmental sustainability and social responsibility in the modern business world. This course also includes an international study trip to Bologna in Italy. So you've heard me mention the word micro-credentials, and some of you may be wondering what indeed are micro-credentials. Well, essentially, they are short accredited courses. They provide learning opportunities which offer a highly flexible, bite-sized and accessible mechanism of upskilling and reskilling. They're really designed to meet the demands of learners, enterprise and organisations. And University of Galway has over 65 micro-credentials that are currently on offer, and many of those are in the business and management field. So information about all the micro-credentials that we offer, including their duration, the method of delivery, the course content and the learning outcomes, is available from our micro-credentials website. I also mentioned recognition of prior learning. And this really is a process by which your previous learning is formally valued by the University of Galway. Through the RPL process, your prior learning will be identified, assessed, and recognised by the university in relation to the courses that it offers. Prior learning is learning that may have been acquired through previous formal courses you've undertaken, or indeed through work experience or training that you have engaged in. And RPL then can be used really to gain entry to a course where learners do not meet the standard entry criteria. It also can be used to earn advanced entry to a course, so maybe into year 2 or indeed even year 3 of a 4-year programme. And also RPL can be used to earn module exemptions. So in other words, ensuring that you're not having to repeat learning that you have already evidenced for the university. And you can contact us if you want to find out more about the university's RPL process and how you might be able to benefit from it. So finally, a number of the courses mentioned here today may be eligible for funding. We have several options available at the moment, including courses that are funded through Springboard Plus, programs that are eligible for funding from one of the skill nets. A number of the micro-credentials are eligible for a learner subsidy that ranges from 50 to 80%. And we also offer an adult learning tuition scholarship. So it's really worthwhile exploring those to see if you may be eligible and meet the entry criteria for those funding sources. So thank you for your attention. That is the first part of our webinar. And now I'm going to stop sharing my screen and we might move on to our panel discussion. So I'm just going to stop sharing here now and hopefully that will all go away. So we have both Eamon and Miles who are going to participate with us in relation to our question and answer session. And Miles, I might come to you first of all, if that's okay. So you're a lecturer in the discipline of marketing and you teach a range of marketing modules on a number of the online courses that I've mentioned here today. Maybe can you tell us how those modules are taught and what learners can expect from a module that is delivered in a fully online mode?
What we try and teach is a mix. I think you mentioned it in your slide of the principles and practices. And I myself I didn't go to university originally. I was working in business and I got sent back to college by my employers. So I had very little appreciation of how important the principles of business are, the sort of academia. I was very much focused on firefighting and things. So when I came back to college, I realized that there is a place for a balance between the principles and practices. It's not just about the doing, it's about standing back and looking at things. So the way we do things tends to be as practical as possible. There's an awful lot of case studies. There's an expectation that you'll come to class prepared, that you'll have pre-read so that we can go through the information efficiently. But it is we make it as varied as possible. We're teaching in different forms. There'll be podcasts, there'll be live lectures where we can have discussion sessions, we can have Q&As. But you do need to be prepared in advance because the pace is very quick because it's online. We don't have very much room to maneuver in that.
Okay, that's really useful, Miles. Thank you. And Eamon, I might come to you now, if that's okay. So you're a current student on the Diploma in Management. Can you tell us maybe why did you choose that course and what has your learning experience been like so far?
Well, I literally came back to college after 30 years out. I dropped out 30 years ago. I couldn't finish the degree. I ran out of money. Things were tough. So I went working in senior management for the last 30 years. And literally my contract changed post-pandemic, that our working hours got capped and we got a better working conditions. And with the 39 hours capped working hours, 2 days afterwards, I saw the courses were available to do. And I initially applied to the higher diploma in business studies, but wasn't really successful with that. So I took the diploma in management with the aim of going towards a BCom and finally go to an MBA. So it's just really after all this time out of college and coming back, re-certify myself to catch up with the learnings, to see what is the academic learnings versus the actual practical day-to-day management operations. And it's still fairly similar, but I don't have a piece of paper literally to say what I was doing. And I'm really motivated to progress academically now at the moment. Plus I have two siblings, two brothers are in college at the moment, so they're both doing the part-time courses. And my sister is doing a PhD with the School of Nursing. So there's a kind of a family motivation for
Absolutely,
all of us to return back to college. So there's now 4 of us. So my mother's very, very happy because she's not paying for college and we're all in college. So it's a motivation to go back to college. Yeah,
that sounds like the perfect formula, Eamon. So it does.
Yeah, so reskill, upskill, and just really certify what I've been doing in terms of having it, because as I said, I've now spent 30 years in senior management. I'm not going to spend 30 more years. I now want to spend time learning and educating myself.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we're delighted you've chosen University of Galway, Eamon, for that journey. Miles, I might come back to you again. Adult learners undertaking flexible and part-time courses usually have significant experience that they can draw from, and Eamon has just outlined that case in point. I suppose, why do you enjoy teaching these types of learners?
I think I'd make the comparison with, I also teach undergrads, and a lot of them don't, they're kind of trying to find their way in the world. With the adult and professional learners, they are highly motivated. They know why the people joining us now might be sort of trying to assess themselves. What is it I want to get out of this? And so they've come into it clearly knowing it's not just to have a plaque on the wall with the qualification. It's to be more efficient in the workplace, to be able to think strategically rather than just firefighting, be able to stand back from any situation and go, how should this be dealt with? So they tend to be highly motivated, and that comes across even in the lecture sessions. They're highly engaged, and they will be asking questions, and I can tell they're dealing with something in work that is making this relevant. So that level of engagement motivates me to be a better teacher, I suppose.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I think we can, that's a common theme that we hear from many of our lecturing staff who work with our adult learners. And Eamon, a question we often get from prospective learners is how much time will I need to devote to a course? So maybe you could tell us, how do you balance your professional, personal life with your academic commitments? And maybe have you any tips for someone who is starting out on a new learning journey? Oh, you're just on mute there, Eamon, so we'll get you to...
Whoops, sorry.
No problem.
One of the deals I made at work was they would give me my roster a month in advance. And because I'm available 24/7, well, I was 24/7, I'm now available over a 7-day period working. They give me my roster a month in advance. So I block book time to study. I block book time to do an assignment. And the big secret is, the second you're given an assignment, do it. And because done is better than perfect. I keep saying this even to my own team. Done is better than perfect. Get it done and you can modify it later, but just get it finished. And that's the tip I got from my two brothers as well working. They said, just get it done, get it finished, get it on the paper, and later on you can go back to it and polish it. But you block book your time, you make time available, you do it, and you don't procrastinate, because procrastination is the worst thing you could do when you're doing this, you see. So, and then I have time then for the rest of my life then outside of that. And thankfully the family supports me on this. They know if I set aside a time, I'm not going to be asking for more time next week. I'll get my time, get the work done in the time, and move on. And everyone, it just works that way. So the only tip I can say is try, and a dedicated workspace is the other idea that I have. I have a dedicated workspace for college, and I book my time in there, get the job done, get out, get away. And it works. And it has worked for first year. I found I was able to get through first year very, 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 very easily. So I was quite happy with that. And I'm looking forward now to second year now as well. So similar.
That's good that you're looking ahead, Eamon, and
ahead,
some really good tips there.
And also you balance your my extracurricular activities as well this year. I did quite a few extracurricular activities in the college as well this year, and it really helped with the actual studying as well. So I got to meet more people. I joined the Ideas Lab, the Ideas Lab, and I did a lot of work with the Ideas Lab. I got another award from them, but I really enjoyed that, and I enjoyed going out meeting people. And I met a lot more people I wouldn't have met by just working alone.
Yeah.
So I recommend it. Balance your time, set aside your workspace, and try to meet as many people as you can. Just socialize and enjoy the college.
That's really, really useful information and advice, Eamon. I think you've given a really good insight into, I suppose, the opportunities that being a student can offer. It's not just the academic aspect of the course that you're involved in, but the university has a wide spectrum of activity. And I think what you've outlined there shows that that's something that's also a very positive aspect to being a student. And finally, Miles, I suppose as a lecturer, have you any tips for prospective students? You might be looking at it through a slightly different lens, but I'm sure there is advice that you give to all your students at the start of your modules.
Yeah, well, I could talk all day, but what Eamon was saying is absolutely sage advice. That you know, done is get things done and revisit it then, because I think a lot of adult learners, there is a fear, there is this, you know, this procrastination thing that creeps in because you're afraid of just getting things down on paper. And but my specific advice is that there are so many resources in the university through the Centre for Adult Learning, on the learning interface canvas. There's loads of resources, additional resources to the core textbooks that you can be looking at so that you can be prepared. But the biggest resource that you will have in college is your fellow students. So even though it's online, get to know the rest of the class, set up a WhatsApp group. If you miss a lecture, know, you know, what's been said. You know, I know everything's recorded, but there's sort of little nuggets of information that people will be sharing with each other. They will be your greatest resources to know the other students. I mentioned already that people tend to know what their objective is as they go into this, but you know, that will keep you motivated. That, you know, be organized, try not to fall behind, because you know, once you're not keeping up with the readings, I know we're all in the same situation. We have, you know, we all have work-life balance challenges, and it takes a certain amount of bravery to take on this extra challenge, but it is totally worth it. I've seen so many students come through that you know, there's never a student who regrets taking that extra pressure. It's only for a short time. It's worth it. It's not the next 10 years. It's not the rest of your life you're going to be doing this. Get it done and it'll be worth it. Yeah, my one key advice is to get to know the rest of the class. Don't try and do the course in isolation.
Yeah, I think that's really good advice there, Miles. And I think all learners should try and take as much of that on board as they can. And Eamon, maybe I'll close out with a final question to you. And I think maybe you've already touched on it already, but can you just maybe outline what have been the highlights of your return to education so far? And, you know, you've mentioned a few things in terms of even the extracurricular activities you've been involved in, but just even for yourself as an individual learner, what you know have learned about yourself maybe. And I think that's often something that you know, learners find equally as valuable as the cognate subject that they're actually teaching.
Yeah, well, I think I relaxed a lot more at work. I think, I don't know why, but I seem to have taken a step back and started to think more. So I have picked up like serious critical thinking skills. And that was one thing that was always encouraged. Stop, just think for a little bit instead of going headlong into things. So even with doing the assignments and stuff, I would go away for a day and just think about them before I, you know, and then get stuck and get it finished. So taking that skill away of just stopping for a while, reflecting, and then actually working has improved my work. Plus, again, my hours have been cut as well, thankfully. But at the same time, yeah, I'm starting to enjoy it more. My work more as well, because I think because I'm learning something and doing something else, I'm taking that positive from the college back into workplace. I have applied one or two things that I've learned already to college, the whole plan, lead, organize, control, all of that structures, where I would have done it before, but I never thought about how I did it. Now I think about how I do things better, and it makes things a lot easier. And yeah, I do think my work life has increased, has got better. And of course, that's reflected in my home life as well. I'm not stressed as much. And yeah, I very positive. College has been a very positive experience this year. And I'm looking forward to like the rest of it. On to the MBA is my target, of course, you know.
Well, you're definitely an advocate for returning to education,
Yeah.
Eamon, and it
Yeah,
sounds as if you have your learning path well planned
yeah,
out there from
I have,
what...
and I'm looking forward to it. And I've spent a long time thinking about it, and I was afraid for a long time to come back. But now that I'm here, I'm glad I did it. Yeah, I'm glad I did it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that will resonate with a lot of people who may be, you know, watching in today, is that sense that, you know, I wonder what am I letting myself in for, and will I be able for it? But it's amazing that once learners start on that journey and, you know, and they realize there's a lot of support around them, I think, within the university to, you know, help learners address the various different skills that are being developed. And then when you look back and reflect on the journey and reflect on how far you've come, you can see the progress.
That is amazing. I have come back. I have thought about what I've done for the last year, and time would have gone by and I wouldn't have done it, but the time still would have passed. So my focus is on now, what can I do with the time that's passing by? You know, so if you don't do it, the time still passes and then you have regret. But if you do it, the time will pass and things will be, you know, positive.
Exactly.
So,
you have something to show, something extra to show for that time. Okay, well, I think that has probably addressed a number of the questions that we have had put to us. And I think you've touched on a lot of advice that will be very useful for learners who might be at the start of their learning journey. And as we say, we always encourage learners to reach out to us if they've any specific questions or queries about any of the programs that are open and accepting applications. Then reach out to send a message or look for even a telephone call. We're more than happy to ring anybody back and to have a conversation about what's involved in a course. So without further ado, I think we'll end our session today, and we thank you very much for all of your time. So thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, thanks, everybody. Bye.